We have a panel discussion after this, and that's the last session of the day, on synergy between education curriculum and the industry needs. We have with us Professor Hemanta, Professor B.D. Paira, Professor Rajdeep Chowdhury, and Shri Sandip as the moderator. Mr. Sandip Sen happens to be a past president of this chamber. He's an engineer entrepreneur managing an enterprise providing specialized technical services to various engineering segments, including cellular tower management and defense shipbuilding and repair activities, etc. Professor Hemanta of College of Technology of the Techno India Group has 12 years of experience and has published over 30 papers. His passion and expertise is in cryptography and way to understand. Founder, advisor of Heritage Institute of Heritage Group of Institutions. And we have Professor Rajdeep Chowdhury, who is a juvenile trend-setting author, award-winning poet, and an academician by profession. He is affiliated as teacher in charge of Department of Computer Application at JIS College of Engineering, Kolkata. He has published more than 70 research papers in peer-reviewed international, national journals and conferences. He is also in the editorial board of around 20 international journals. Professor Chowdhury has published 3 published patents, has published 25 poetry anthologies, and is the editor of the book Creative Corner, Crafting Emotion, published by Vishwabharati Research Center. He has an extreme passion towards academics and more so towards attainment of excellence in academics and its allied avenues. Over to you, Mr. Sandip, please. Just a moment, may I request President Shri Chowdhury to felicitate the speakers, the panelists. Professor Rajdeep Chowdhury. Professor B.D. Paira. And Professor Hemanta.
A long day for all of you. I'm sure the programs, I came in the second half, I found the programs quite interesting and quite relevant. I hope you have been enjoying it, but at the back end of the day, we have about half an hour with us for this panel discussion, so I won't take long. I'll just kick off the program. I won't be able to say something very new, but as both students and I believe, I really don't know whether somebody is from the industry also. In this, digitally connected, globalization and this scenario that, what we have been going through over the past couple of person of my age, it's actually difficult to catch up. It's another industrial revolution that is going on, and we keep receiving these inputs. We have professors with us who will be able to enlighten us. Both, I would say, in the industry sector and the education sector is also trying to grow and catch up with that space, But there is a general feeling, the perception is there that there always remains a gap a kind of a lag between what the industry expects and what the education institutions are providing. So I'm sure, I mean, the kind of the information that we get bombarded these days from all kind of sources, social medias and things, internets and all, plus what we have been hearing over here, that we are going through a global, I mean, it's a revolution, and as one of the speakers said, I think you are Mr. Bhattacharya, Kaushik Bhattacharya, that's, something is an opportunity, and unless we are prepared for it, then it becomes a challenge for us also. So particularly the younger generation, the students will have to seize this as an opportunity, build them up, and the role of the educational institutions, of course, becomes more important nowadays to build or to prepare the generation for this revolution. So on this note, I would start off the panel discussion, and I will follow the serial that has been given here, and I think we have about half an hour's time. So each panelist should have about 7-8 minutes to speak, and after that we can have a short interaction or some question and answers. So I will start off with Professor Hemanta of Techno India with his
Good afternoon, everybody. So, what are we thinking about the education today? Basically, we think everyone think education is one kind of timetable. That means we follow the timetable day to day. You get up early in the bed in the morning, then study something, and pack up your bags, go to some location to learn something, then come back again, and again follow the same procedure the next day. After a fine day, you find out all your effort is converted into the marks or grades. Nothing else. That means all your effort converted to marks and grades. Because you think education means just follow the syllabus. That is not. According to the Hindu monk Swami Vivekananda, education is the manifestation of perfection in the human. It is already in humans. That means you always try to learn something that is new. You always try to search something that is new. But we only follow the process of syllabus. When some student enter our college, at the time of the admission, they first ask, what is the package, highest package? Sir, tell me the highest package. Not only student, guardian also ask, what is the highest package? Not ask about the what other topic they will learn in that period. Only their curiosity is the package, what will be the salary. But we also, for the admission procedure, we also say something. The highest package for this company is this one, so on. Because we need student. So at that time, also I am working 12 years in this profession under the private institution WBUT, now it is known as MAKUT, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University. They never changed the syllabus. From my beginning in near about 2005, I teach BCA and MCA student. There is a subject known as Visual Basics. Visual Basics, BCA student, they learn in the second semester, that means in the first year. But for the master students, they learn it is in third year. So what is this? The student just pass out the higher secondary, they learn it in the next year, and the masters, they completed BCA or BSc or anything, they learn it in third year. So this is the actual scenario of WBUT, or now it is MAKUT. Till now we not change the syllabus. Today Visual Basic is almost obsolete, but not change the Visual Basic to .NET or any other language. Because then I don't know whether there is any panel or not to change the syllabus or anything. So we need to change, because our student compete with the whole world student. If they are backdated, how can they compete with them? For this reason, from West Bengal, the number of maybe 10 to 12% students are employable. We say 10 to 12% are employable. Why? Is there any situation is there? Obviously, including our standard, including our syllabus, all those things. So we need to move forward because we need to change the syllabus, we need to change the standard, we need to change the faculties who are working in different private institutions for more than what they are not till now not completed any PhD or they are not involved in research work. How can they compete? Their student can compete in the world scenario, according to my opinion. And another one is actually there is so many students are there. For one advice to them, when you enter in your college, you think the number of salaries, you think about the opportunities, but you also remember there is some in your when you join any corporate or anywhere, there is a huge gap between your institution and corporate, because in corporate there is no time. Actually, you can come. There is a if you come at 10 and you cannot go until your job is done. So there is a time constant is not there. But if you come to our college, then you can attend any class. You can also avoid any class. That kind of is not possible in your corporate. And there is a time constant also. And obviously you try to involve some internship in the period of your semester break, attend workshop. We also provide some company courses like Infosys Campus Connect program. In our college we conduct Infosys Campus Connect program. I am the single point of contact for this program. And each and every year we train more than 200 students. Actually, this course helps students because today most of the core related stream also try to fetch a job from the IT sector. So core student, basically core stream student also need to train for the technical papers, and Infosys Campus Connect programs also helps them because in their syllabus there is some IT related papers. So I request especially for the student, don't think about the past because look about the future. Sachin Tendulkar also not completed 10th standard. Rajinikanth at the age of 25 is also a bus conductor. Abraham Lincoln, you know, and A.R. Rahman is a key player basically. So just look forward and then you will be success in your life. That's all.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Dey. I think Professor Dey has raised some very some relevant points. But what we'll do is we'll follow the pattern list. I mean, I now request Professor V.V. Paira to kindly make his presentation. At the end, we can have a little summing up and discussion, interactions, in case you have any questions. Those can be raised. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Dignitaries, experts, panelists, participants, students, ladies and gentlemen. I am really very much fortunate that the office bearers of GNCCI invited me to be one of the panelists in synergy between educational curriculum and industry needs. To start with, since 1963, I am in teaching and research. Quite a long innings, 54 years. Calcutta University and private institutes. The many issues are being raised, but first of all, during the last 2 decades, I have attended countless number of such interactive sessions on industry, institute, synergy in workshops, conferences organized by the chambers or institutes, etc. But the results are not encouraging. Neither the institutes are coming forward, nor the industry is giving some plans for an interactive utilization of the benefits. See, the educational objective of any institute is holistic development of the student with professional competence. Holistic development is the generic skills to be acquired by the student, such as say effective communication, such as critical and lateral thinking, such as lifelong learning, such as discipline, attendance. These things, these are the generic skills to be achieved by the students during the course of their study. And then professional competency as learning outcome consists of, say, academic knowledge, procedural knowledge, and also overreaching functional ability. To the extent possible, this academic knowledge from the syllabus is to certain extent delivered to the students. Though I would like these deliveries to be interactive instead of being delivery type, but to a certain extent is available to the student. What they lack is the functional abilities, special high-end abilities, means they are to condense or focus all the informations and the materials they have gathered for solution of certain problems under certain conditions. Now then, industry experts may help the institutes in overcoming such deficiencies. And in that respect, can you tell me any move that has so far been made in this state or elsewhere? From last year, AICT has given us a good opportunity of 20% of the regular faculty can be adjunct faculty taken from industry. Now this is a very good move, I tell you, because previously when I was head of the Department of Chemical Engineering, I went to the Vice Chancellor to get one managing director of a design company here to be a guest faculty of our department. The Vice Chancellor persuaded me not to press for guest faculty, but to invite him for few lectures because he didn't have postgraduate degree. We had a talk with the chairman of AICT that for such adjunct faculty, no eligibility of this qualification would be necessary. Minimum qualification is well. Therefore, any expert, really expert in industry, retired or in office, may be utilized, his services may be utilized by any academic institute, and they can pay for his remuneration or compensation from the 20% of the manpower requirement as faculty. From that fund, they can pay him. So, but the such experts must be available. And may I request the authorities of the Bengal National Chamber of Commerce and Industry to prepare list of such experts and their expertise in the local industry and provide the same to the local institutes for their use and a little bit of social service also. As far as upgrading the syllabi and curriculum is concerned, I have not heard any suggestion from any college coming to the university for improvement. The university on its own way, as it does, tries to improve the syllabus, curricula and the regulations also. But it is on the part of the teachers, on the part of the academic administrators to motivate the university even if it lags behind in upgrading the curriculum and syllabus. So no attempt is being made in that case. We put the blame on others but don't like to share the responsibility. When we were students or teachers, we usually start at 9 from home, reach science college by 10. Normally do not leave science college before 8 p.m. And now you go to any private college, you will find a long queue at about 4:30 or 4 to leave home. Now you see, at this very old age of 80, I find many people who are doing the job of teachers, not teachers I should say. They are doing the job of teachers. Job of teachers and teaching is not same. Therefore, you have to teach us. The society must take stock of this thing and find out good teachers, because otherwise we won't be able to survive. You see, things are not improved. I tell you, the university, let us suppose that is not upgrading syllabus. We have lots of autonomous colleges. See, find out that their curricula or syllabi is not much different from the syllabi pursued by Markout or WB. So even if you are given autonomy, you are not exercise, you are not applying your mind to upgrade. So something wrong somewhere. We must have to find out and see how we can give the best training and education possible to our youngsters. I as an old person, I feel sometimes very much frustrated because we normally we are bent not to take the responsibility, rather to criticize, say this is not being done, that is not done, this should have been done, but is not being done. By whom? By others. I am very safe. I am doing perfectly all right. And I am not being allowed to do. You see, we must have to come out of this psychosis and look for better environment in academic institutions in synergy and cooperation with industry. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak.
Thank you, sir, for your excellent presentation. May I now request Shri Rajdeep Chowdhury of JS to kindly make his presentation.
Thank you. Well, it is very difficult to be the last speaker in anywhere because people lose interest, audiences get less. But the most positive point in this being the last speaker is that the target audience for this kind of a topic of panel discussion would be students, and they are here. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Rajdeep Chowdhury from JS College of Engineering. Sandip, Professor Paira, whom we have seen for many years. Hemanta from Techno India. Firstly and foremostly, I would like to thank Bengal National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Chowdhury, Ms. Bose for inviting and giving me this honor to say a few words in front of you. But the topic for the panel of discussion is synergy between educational curriculum and industry needs. Fantastically said, but I think we have not touched those points a bit, so I'd just like to stress on those. Before that, I'd like to say a statement, a very thought-provoking quote from a famous person known as Stephen Covey. He says, synergy is better than my way or your way. It is actually our way. So synergy is better than my way or your way, it's our way. And Mark Twain said even in a better way that synergy is the bonus achieved when everything else goes harmoniously. So synergy between educational curriculum and industry needs. We all know, being part of the educational sector for so many years, and people from industry over here in BNCCI as well as the guests, that there has to be an amalgamation or a collaboration between industry and academia. The industry needs is absolutely pertinent to which the educational curriculum should be built. Professor Paira stressed on a point of autonomous institution. I come from an autonomous institution, and yes, we have the academic autonomy. What does that mean? That academic autonomy allows us to frame our own curriculum. The own curriculum being that you can involve stakeholders. A curriculum followed by knockout is as old as Bengal National Chamber of Commerce when established in so many years back. And it has not been updated as BNCCI has done. They have updated to modern trends of projectors and microphones and everything. But that knockout syllabus still remains an old one and tried and dusted. But being an autonomous institution, I wanted to read on a lighter side so that you are not yawning and feel interested to hear to me. So, to be on a lighter side, but to come into a serious note, the point is that being an autonomous institution for the last 5 years, Professor Paira, we have been exercising autonomy for the last 5 years. We have gone for renewal as well. We have the liberty of doing our own curriculum and syllabus. The very first point of academic autonomy is that you have to have stakeholders' involvement in the curriculum. What are those? The primary stakeholders are you, the students, the faculties, the guardians, the parents, the industry experts, and the alumni. These are the 5 stakeholders whose feedback, suggestions, and recordings are noted and implemented in the curriculum. Second thing, I think the academicians as well as the industrialists and the students might not be aware. In every department, there should be a board of studies. Now this board of studies is the highest authority of a department, and the board of governors is the highest authority of an institute. In our autonomous institution, in my department, MCA, which I head, we have our board of studies, and it is mandatory. It is mandatory to have an industrial expert in the BOS. We have 2 academicians and 2 industrial experts in our board of studies. They come, we sit down, we frame the curriculum, we frame the syllabus. And it is not as related to knockout. Loads of things are included, new industrial topics are included. Hemanta was absolutely right when he said that Visual Basic is becoming obsolete. It's not becoming obsolete, nothing goes obsolete, but Visual Basic needs much more improvement. People are working on Visual Studio. People are working on VB.NET. So Visual Basic is taken a backseat. Same with other languages. I'm not getting into so much technicalities. But the issue is that when the industry people came to my BOS 2 years, 3 years back, they suggested, why not include cloud computing in your syllabus? It is a trendy topic. Why not include big data and Hadoop? It is a trendy topic. Why don't you include cryptography and network security? How it helps? Moreover, they also suggested, why don't you include ASP.NET, JSP, Java, PHP, the things where they're going to absorb the students. Instead of those subjects which are not going to get you into some job or to sustain in that job. If you have to have a sustainable job, you have to have those technicalities which they want. They want you to be employable and employable to their needs. So the industry wants you to be ready at par. And what is the benefit for them? The training is saved and they get a finished product in hand instead of a novice whom they have to pack the bag and get trained and then get into the work. So building the curriculum in an autonomous institution has got extreme liberty. You can build your own curriculum with industry needs. You can set the electives. You can set the subjects according to industry needs. One more thing which Hemanta was pointing, I should add to it. In the same manner, I am the single point of contact for Infosys Campus Connect. Also, I am the brand ambassador for them as well. So, Infosys Campus Connect is a good program, but we have the industry offered electives in our college as well. I'll just add on to that. Infosys Campus Connect is just a concurrent program. It is not part of your academics. It is just an add-on. It gives you certifications. It gives you understanding of some subjects which have been moduled on Infosys Campus Connect. We have Infosys offered electives. Now, what is that? In our departments of IT and CS, we have offered 2 subjects which have been developed by Infosys, like building enterprise applications and business English communication. Both these subjects run in CSC and IT in our college. And these are offered electives from Infosys, and people from Infosys via webinars, Skype and remote centering teach the students. And the class is being conducted in that manner. So when you have this liberty, this is only because we are an autonomous institution we could do. Our institutes under NACOT can't, so that's a stringency. But that's the point. So we could do that. We could introduce more things into our academics, which has helped the students, which has motivated them. They are getting an industry exposure in their pre-final year, in their second year. So and also a valid point for this, which you might know, is that this certificate has got a weightage. Because if you are sitting for an Infosys campus interview, this certificate allows you to skip the training and straight away being absorbed in the batch. So you are not in the pool at the straight on. Couple of more points which I would like to add on before boring you off is that industry is changing also day by day. That is another thing which we have to keep in mind. Like academics has changed from Gurukul system, that master and disciple system, to the chalk and talk. Now it has become flipped and e-learning. So now everything is becoming digitization and digitized. We are having 8 to 10 smart classrooms in our college. What does smart classroom mean? It is exactly like a smartphone. In the phone which I used to, that Nokia phone is nearly outdated now, nobody uses it. Everybody has a smartphone. Everybody of you have a WhatsApp, right? Everybody of you have a messenger connected to Facebook. You can't live without it. In the same way, those old classrooms which chalk and talk, people shouting is going. Now even AICT, we recently conducted a workshop in our college. AICT is tracing on e-learning through the SWAYAM platform. Government of India, NHRD, NMICT has endorsed that project known as SWAYAM. You get video tutorials. Like NPTEL is already there. IIT Bombay's spoken tutorial is there. All these things are not for fun. The government of India, has also understood the importance of digitization. Government of West Bengal has also understood the importance of digitization. And obviously, at the juncture, sitting today here in the World National Technology Day, we should be talking about technology and the upgradation. Industry, right, few years back has changed now. Like from academics, from one stage of Gurukul system to this e-learning and digitization. In the same manner, industry, right from only thinking about manufacturing and selling the product, is more of thinking of marketing the product, publicizing. You see, I'll give you an example, you'll find it very interesting and you will laugh. Before Bahubali 2, you know Bahubali 2, right? It's a sensation, right? Before Bahubali 2 hit the theaters, it had earned 500 crores. Can you believe it? We cannot imagine 100 crores. 100 crore movie is a big hit. It had earned from satellite rights, music rights, digital rights and all 500 crores. And now it has surpassed 1,000 crores in these few days. So it's a sensation. So that's the fantastic charm of digitization and the fantastic charm of getting in the. I just went astray, but coming back to the topic before concluding would be that there has to be a handshaking, hand-holding methodology or a modus operandi between industry and academics. Neither academics can sustain without industry absorbing their students, and neither industry can survive without good academicians coming out from institutes which they are going to absorb and one day sit here as speakers. Maybe I was just few years back sitting in your place listening to some expert. Today I am speaking to you. Just have that hope, aspiration and endeavor that after 5 years, 6 years, you will be one of the speakers in BNCCI speaking to us. Signing off, thank you.
Thank you, Rajdeep, that was wonderful. I'll just take 2 minutes to briefly sum up what our speakers have said. We'll start with Professor Hemanta. Professor Hemanta had, expressed, may I use the word regrets regarding the rigidity of the syllabus, which of course with autonomy it gets corrected as Mr. Rajdeep said, that with autonomy of education institutions, which I think the government is doing in a large way, it would definitely help to catch up with UGC. So what they are doing is it is actually helping.
It is already prevalent in the government services. When universities already have that autonomy.
That's true.
Private self-finance colleges
Private,
doesn't have that autonomy.
Academic autonomy.
Alright. So Professor Paira, his wisdom and the long years that he has spent as a professor, he also expressed his views regarding the gap that exists between the academics and the industries. But as Rajdeep has also said that the industries are also, moving at a very accelerated pace, Like learning from old devices and old things. I won't mention the institute. It was one of the best engineering colleges, it still is in West Bengal, from where I did my engineering. And my uncle also happened to do his engineering from the same college about 2 decades before me. So he came and asked me that, are you still learning on the old steam engine? So that steam engine was, somewhere it was in the 1800s. So we learned, that all those steam theories and all on that engine. So it used to be like that. But once you come into the industry, then you start learning. But see what is happening. Being from the industry side, I personally feel that having spent about 40-45 years in the professional life, that things are really, really moving at a very accelerated speed. It's, so nowadays students will, really have to, run. If we could walk, but but you guys have to run and run really fast. Just to be, to catch up with what the industries are expecting. So Professor Rajdeep was of course very positive with autonomy and yes, things about what industry and I'm also very happy to note, and because I am not very aware of this thing, that this kind of collaboration between Infosys and the academic institutions, this will definitely help and go a long way. Because as it is, it's a era of speed. Because when we passed our engineering, we knew that the industries would give us a year or 2 for training, and training used to be a very casual thing. But I'm not talking about the Jamai training. So life was quite easy. Industries used to give us some stipend, and we also had a very easy life, learning, not somebody's expenses. But nowadays, sitting on the other side of the table, when some guy, see when we are interviewing people, so I literally ask them, see when they talk about salaries and all, sometimes I jokingly tell them that how much you're going to pay me. So they get surprised, sir, what for? I said, I'm going to train you. Because you were in a college, so when you are in a college, you are paying money. So why do you expect the industry to train you and on top of that pay you also? So now thought processes have also changed. So everyone has become very money-minded, the industry has become money-minded also. So you've got to understand that. So with this,
Observations if I make.
Sure. No, I'll just sign off here only. So I'll finish my job. So I'll leave the floor open. So if you have some more points to say, you can definitely go ahead. And in case the students have any queries or anything, any observations, they wish to make.
One thing which I like to impress upon you is a continuous method of upgrading curricula and syllabi. It is not that at this point of time we upgrade it, then again it remains. But we must have a regulation, a meeting of the Board of Studies organized in such a fashion that we can go for continuously upgrading, which I do not find. This is number one. Number two, Infosys Campus Connect program is good, definitely, but is not the only thing that one should aspire for. Heritage had Campus Connect program from 2005 onwards, long before Heritage attained autonomy. And then again I come back to the teachers. The teaching community should bear the responsibility of giving training to the students. They must have to realize that enough material is available in net, open courseware, MOOC, NetTel, and you might be knowing Internsala now for internship. You have found that, and many such things. The most important thing is the care of the students as their child, which we received from professors like Dr. Rajdeep, Dr. Goa, Dr. P.K. Dotto, or many others. We like that culture to be revived and continue in West Bengal so that we have bright youngsters for the future. Thank you, sir. Allow me to say.
May I ask a question, sir?
I hope not to me.
No, may I ask a question to the panelists, educationists of today. I come from rural Bengal, and the concept of chalk and talk still exists in a very big way. Until and unless the new methods are taught in rural India or rural Bengal, and it's only taught in the so-called upper society of schools in the city of Calcutta, you are not going to come into a situation where you're going to have a relationship either with the industry or with the teachers. You would be more into it because you are very much there as a professor teaching today. So I last entered a class 40 years ago. So you have a comment on that.
Sir, I'm not directly answering you, but I'm giving you what happened to me at one time during the past 3-4 years at Heritage. I received a lot of complaints about a few teachers, say one of them, and I decided to sit in the class to see for myself whether they are the complaint is true or not. What I found is this, that the teacher is in a dedicated way reading out what is projected. The students are just behind, and he goes on reading and reading. I came out, asked the teacher, and told him that please don't use those transparencies. Don't go for projection. And every 5 minutes you ask your students, do you follow or you do not follow? So you use chalk or talk, you use PPTs, you use transparencies. You must assess what is assimilated by your students. And then if that is say 51% that is, you are a teacher, otherwise you are not. The methodology is yours, but that must be palatable, must be digestible to your students, so that they get the grasp of what you are teaching.
Thank you, sir.
I'll take on to Sir's question, what he's saying. Well, I'll just add on to what you are asking a question. I got it. It's very much pertinent to what you have done. You listened very carefully to me. That's why you asked that question. I had that skill. So the point is not that. I never said in my saying, or I'm just justifying the point, is that it's not that we are going to absolutely eradicate or remove or obsolete chalk and talk. I said, with the emerging trends, with the modern day, with the current trend, and with the ongoing and upcoming life, the rat race which he was referring to, which these people face, I would have fallen down any time when the rat race was because of my physique. So I cannot run the race, I will always lose. So the issue is very simple. With the chalk and talk and traditional system, what we say, conventional educational system, we have to also adapt to the new technologies. That was my point. We have to keep that chalk and talk because that is basic. Some mathematical explanation, unless and until you do it on the board or do it on the copy, it is absolutely unwarranted for a student to understand, even if you show videos or anything. Some physics formulas, how do you infer them? You have to show it through chalk and talk. So I'm not against chalk and talk. Chalk and talk should be there. It should be used in a more sober way, when it should be a supplementing when requisite, but we should be absolutely adaptive towards the current trends, that is of digitization. And why? Because why not use the resources which are available? Because I will now ask Professor Paira, when he has mentioned that point, that of the faculty who was going on teaching through digital, yeah. But I will ask you a question, sir, don't mind. You were invited through an email or a hard copy for this session?
No, I was...
You received an email, no?
No. The executive officer rang me.
Oh, it was just a phone. So understand the level of modernization.
And I see,
And you are still asking the teacher to say,
so
what I can do.
you see, the imperfect information, what it resulted, you see, I was told BCCI, and I know, you see, CII and BCCI. So I rushed to, because I was very busy today, I had many things. So I rushed to CII, and I left the car also. Later on I found that no, this is BMCCI. And you know, I had to walk on. And the whole thing happened. So this is for imperfect information. And I didn't get the email from here. Possibly they do not know my address or something like that. They made contact with the chief executive officer who provided him the title only. So you have not seen printed by name.
No, what I was trying to say is nothing from rural Bengal.
So
It's not about just
Yeah, I'll get on your point.
chalk and talk.
Yeah.
But basically to say that until and unless rural Bengal also changes its way of education, and if they are going to stick with chalk and talk only, you are not going to come into the industry as of, today is the IT industry situation. So how do you feel about that?
You are very correct, but the point is the infrastructure is not ready in the rural area for this sort of thing. That is the point where government of West Bengal should look after. You from Bengal National Chamber of Commerce, from Bengal Chamber of Commerce, from CII can push the government of West Bengal that at least we should have one digitized classroom in the rural areas for the students so that they can also have an access, because they are also absolutely in the dark. They are in the bleak. They are not getting the infrastructure. Forget about teaching them through PPTs, e-learning and digital. The chalk and talk is the only methodology prevalent because there is no option for the infrastructure. Secondly, I would like to add a few points on to what your question is. the students in the rural area are no way, any means retarded from the students in the urban area. Even they are better in quality. What we have done some of the best. So obviously, if they get these current tools, you can imagine what we are going to get. And on a funnier side, as I always do, Professor Paira, you should have just remembered that it is a National Technology Day, so that N should be there. So PCCI, PNCCI, that N was missing.
দেখুন আমি কিন্তু যে অনুরোধটা আপনাদের করেছিলাম সেটা আমি হাত জোড় করে বলছি, আপনারা যদি এক্সপার্টদের কিছু লিস্ট করে কলেজগুলোতে পাঠান, তাতে যদি 10% কলেজও তাদের ইনভাইট করে, তাহলে দেখবেন একটা কোয়ালিটেটিভ চেঞ্জ আসবে এই এতে পড়ানোতে। কারণ এই যে ইন্ডাস্ট্রির কালচার, সেটা কিছুটা যদি একাডেমিক ইনস্টিটিউটে আসে, আমার মনে হয় তার ফলটা ভালো হবে। তাই আমার আপনাদের কাছে আবেদন, আপনারা যদি কিছু অন্তত এই এক্সপার্টের ব্যবস্থা করেন, তাহলে খুব উপকার হবে। আর আরেকটা কথা বলছি, সত্যি ও অনেক খবরাখবর অনেকে থাকে। আমি একটা ব্যক্তিগত ঘটনার কথা বলছি। আমার যে স্কুল অত্যন্ত জায়গাতে এখনো যেতে গেলে আপনার অনেক কষ্ট করতে হবে, জঙ্গল মহলে, সেই স্কুলে আমি একটা কম্পিউটার দিতে চেয়েছিলাম। হেডমাস্টার আমাকে বললেন যে না বুঝে বলতে পারবেন, এবং সেই না বুঝে তিনি আজও পর্যন্ত বলতে পারেননি। মানে আমি কম্পিউটারটা দিতে চেয়েছিলাম ছেলেদের একটু সুবিধার জন্য, তাই আমি এইটুকু বুঝেছি আপনি ইচ্ছে করলে কারো উপকার করতে পারবেন।
Thank you, sir. Before just 1 minute, please. Before we conclude, I think the students are major stakeholders in this discussion. I would like to hear, their point of view, if they, about their expectation. I'd like anyone to volunteer. Please introduce yourself, Raj.
Sir, I am Rochana Sinara, second year CS from Techno College of Technology. Actually, my problem is I am from WPT, means our college follows WPT curriculum, according to which we are not updated. Like there are many topics that are presently running in the market, like data science, which is one of the main, and cloud computing or Hadoop and all that thing. We don't know any of it, and nor do our curriculum to include it by the 4 years of our course. So how do the colleges, teachers and industry expect us to learn about that and update ourselves?
আমি বলছি, you ask the college authority to make some remedial classes.
No sir, actually our college,
we always certain amount of remedial or other extra classes we organize.
No sir, actually we do have trainings. We do have trainings in our same breaks, but only during the training time we get to know all that technologies and all that. And after that, again the sem break is over, we again come back to the curriculum, and we cannot learn anything more. If we go to learn something extra from outside, our grades get compromised. And our grades are really important. How much we say that 7.5 is okay, but still, when I sit for interview, a company obviously will give privilege to the top 10 rather than 8-pointer, isn't it? So how we are expected to update ourselves, keeping the grades in mind, plus the technology, industry and everything.
Rachna, right?
Yeah, Rochana.
Rochana, okay, fine. See, one thing is that the 10, the only top 10 will be for TCS, nobody else. So don't worry about that. So nobody else looks for the top 10 or other companies. Only TCS is following that. So I am very happy Arvind Lahiri is not here. We have 55 years of TCS. Anyways, the issue is that one thing I'll say, fantastic positivity which you have. Forget about 7.5, 8.5. You can speak in English. So you are happy to get a job, I can tell you. You can speak, you can communicate, you will get a job. The industry people will say that. That is the first thing which they look for in a student. Not technical knowledge, because they know what is taught in MAC colleges, they have to do it again. So forget about it. So don't worry. They will only look for your positivity, the smartness by which you are standing, the way you are talking and the way you communicate. I am the most unsmart guy. Any girl will look at me, you see? At the very first instant, but when I start talking, all girls look at me. So that is the difference. First impression can never be the last impression. Looking at me, nobody can be impressed. But once you talk to me, you'll be impressed more than enough. Same for you. Nothing about technical work. Don't worry about technical expertise. Whether you are in autonomous, you should have the positivity and the communication skills which you have. That's one thing. Secondly, but your question is very pertinent. These things, by just going to an Ardent or a Globsin or a CMC for just 2 months to get a certificate and learn cloud computing, you can never learn.
1 month course is nothing.
Being an elective subject in your curriculum, being taught for 3 to 6 months at a regular basis, at least something will be learned. Don't expect to learn there also. But to learn any subject, like I'll quote, you are a CSC student. Dennis Ritchie is the pioneer for C programming, right? He introduced. And what he said in his first class to students, I know nothing about C. So if somebody introduces C and he says, I don't know C programming, we are fools and idiots to say that we know C programming. And if somebody is questioning from the other side, like Mr. Sen, that you know about C programming, I should be a very honest person and candidly say, sir, I'm just a learner. So I should not be so observant and say that I know everything about C programming. To answer you, Rochana, this time I got it right. So to answer you very correctly, you have the positivity, you have the communication skills, and if you are good on that day and God is good with you, you get a job. And anyways, there is absolutely no gender inequality in job specifications. You will get preferences, no issues. The thing only problematic is technical expertise. Nobody is looking for it, if I'm being very honest. After getting so many jobs, but still staying back in academics due to some other reasons, I can assure you, they never looked at my technical expertise. Just speaking to me for 3 minutes, they have passed me every time. So being honest with you.
You are very kind.
Professor Paira. Sir, I am presently founder of Sapollo.com and EduSocial Network from Personal Learning Networking website. Now I have passed BCA from Techno India in Salt Lake in 2008 and completed MCA from IGNOU in December 2013. Now I and many of my friends are facing problems when they want to learn the latest topics. They search for the institute. For example, as I run a website for website promotion, I am going to search for the courses in digital marketing and search engine optimization. I search many institutes, but I find that they are not up to the mark. When I search for them in the Google, they are showing their classic website. It looks that they are better than IITs also. But when I go there, everything comes that it is not at all good.
Okay, I understood. So your Shuffler has not come yet. You are the owner of the Shuffler, right?
Yes.
That's what you're thinking, that Shuffler should come. I'll answer to you on a serious note. Is that there is a company, I went to one of their digital marketing programs as a speaker in Navya Institute of Technology. They do digital marketing and the question which you asked, the SMEs and those things. So you can just have a look for them. But precisely to answer you, one thing I will just suggest, although you have passed that age, this one is for the students if there are any from PCA or anyone, please go for a full-time degree. Don't go for a part-time degree. That's my always request to students. Taking from IGNOU, SMU, PTU, I am not against them, but at the end they don't sustain after a period. But if you have a full-time degree from even a private college or a government college, that will sustain you. So that was the reason, because you said MCA from IGNOU, that was one of my points. But you have started, you are a self-made entrepreneur, that's what I think, right? You are doing your own work, you are, so great thing. So that's it. Even a Bengali can be an entrepreneur, nobody thought few years back. So that is a big thing in you. So that is your shuffle, forget about other shuffles.
And why didn't you appear in ATA Bangla? That the government was helping.
That my business is not reached that scale and it has not yet started earning revenue. So I
No question of revenue, it is on the merit of the scheme.
okay, sir.
Some of our students participated, you see, with the idea.
That's your one, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, I have seen that in the TV and I will try to
The idea is important. The idea is important.
See, I'll tell you one thing, being very honest with you, being a friend to you, I'm just, I'm half that, no, I'm not even the half the age, I'm 6 years less than half your age, so 34, giving my age out because you said 80. So being a 34-year-old, being so fat, I still try to be very active,
try to be working as hard as possible, teach students. More so importantly, one thing he has stated very correctly, have to have a fantastic rapport with the students, which I have. You have to understand the psyche of the students so that they can understand you. To be honest with you, do not for a single iota of a time feel demotivated, because you have started with a what? It can never grow on the very first day. As these business tycoons were sitting, it has taken them years, grey hairs, toils, wife shouting at them, kids going away, and then they have reached the presidents and the past presidents of the NCCI. They have the white hairs. They are not 25, 30 like me. Maybe they look young because of their physics, but they are not 25, 30. They are all old age people, and even they give dice. So when you will also have white hairs, we will see you as one of the presidents of the NCCI one day maybe.
You learn how to learn, because today you are updated, tomorrow you will be everything will be obsolescence or like that. So you learn how to learn. It's a lifelong process, lifelong learning, because you are born in an era or an age where this learning will go on and on.
Sir always tells the correct points at the last, and I will tell you how you will understand. You have the proof. Sir has learned today also, going to BCCI and coming to BNCC.
Thank you very much.
Having such an animated session, now over to Ina for concluding it.
Let me first sincerely apologize to Professor Paira.
On behalf of the panelists, we must thank the moderator for whatever he has done.
You've done a good job.
And attendance is very good.
Professor Paira, my sincere apologies because I didn't have the coordinates. So I have to request Mr. Pradeep Agarwal to connect you with the NCCI. Yes, I had sent the mail to him.
No, on coming in, I rang Rupa.
Okay.
That what is the address? I could get the address from her and then
Thank you everyone. Thank you the panelists. Thank you all the speakers of the day. Thank you the guests, the students who stayed back patiently. Of course, the speakers were the attracting points who have kept you glued to your chairs. I sincerely thank the print and the electronic media who were here this morning. I should also thank the sponsors of the day, of the event, without whose support this wouldn't have been possible for us to conduct. I shouldn't repeat the names, but the sponsors also include people from the data analytics companies, the security, the cyber security people here with their sponsorships. And we also had a e-commerce first-time entrepreneur who has just launched their site early this year in January. So they were all here to support us, and a big thank you to the sponsors. Please join us for tea to refresh yourselves. Of course, I just hope that this seminar day didn't end. The mood was so nice and bright for us. Thank you.